Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are checking out Ringo Mogire Beam by Sonny Brisko and Rosemary Lovelock. Now this is something a lot of you guys have been recommending that I check out, so here we are. I'm ready to hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. I was not expecting this. Okay. Okay, before we jump in, let's just look over that instrumentation real quick. Okay, so this is interesting. So, I'm actually not sure if I'm not sure if this is an original or a cover. I assumed it was an original because I don't see like any version or cover in the title. So if that's the case, I'm just going to be approaching this as an original piece. There's some really fun intro instrumentation here. I really like having like multiple layers of like rhythm-esque guitar tracks, and then under that we have a very clean percussive track. And that you know, that interjecting guitar like after like the power chords, we get the da na 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 na, like that guitar track is dynamic. So it's panning from the left to the right ear there. Nice. Okay. This is interesting. And it looks like we're playing more into, so we have Sonny going for this more abdominal gritty voice, and he's really focusing on projection, whereas Rosemary is going more for this like higher pitched, well, her voice is already pretty high pitched, but she's got this like a nasal quality to her voice here that she's really leaning into. She's really leaning into that nasal quality to create a even more vast juxtaposition between their voices there, which is a really nice way to emphasize that. Okay. Ooh, I really like those keys. I really like how the keys came in there. That was really smooth. Nice. Okay. Nice. Nah, that was very clean. Okay, so we're really leaning into that more of those keys on the slowdown, which really helps the like majesty in the mix, right? Because anytime you have like a slowdown and then you bring out the keys with this big projection, I mean, that creates just this majestic feeling around the mix, right? But then we have the additional slowdown with the rhythm switch up right here, which is super clean. Nice. Ooh. That's and we also have layered vocals with that amped up reverb. Super nice. I love how Sonny is singing there. I mean, his voice is super well projected and really stable. And then Rosemary as well has got this a really nice tonality here. I really like, she's kind of brought it down low, and she's kind of leaning away from that nasal tonality she was having for that intro segment, and now she's going more into the softer, more chest voice. That's really nice, especially when she adds that breathiness into it. It's beautiful. I also want to comment on those like chromatic sweeps up and down on the keys. It's I like it because it almost feels like we're going to a pick scrape, right? At just that beginning moment, it feels like we're going into like a pick scrape transition, but then it leans more into just this up and down, which adds this playfulness to the mix. Because instead of having like a pick scrape would very much, you know, reinforce the intensity and the harsh nature of the mix, but instead we lean into this playfulness and this light treble based aesthetic to the mix, which really helps that juxtaposition between Sonny's voice and Rosemi's voice, between the metal instrumentation and the like keys and the softer elements. It's super fun. Nice. I love that. Like, I love the intensity he's putting into his voice there. He's adding a lot of rasp and like growl into it without quite going into a scream all the way, but just adding that like a minor distortion naturally to his voice. And then Rosemi backing him up there with the nasal follow up and complementing his voice right there. So yeah, like massive props to the mix awareness there. Okay. Nice. 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 Ooh, okay. Nice. Listen, man. Listen to the way the mix fills up around his voice there. I mean, you know, yes, he is doing a great job of projecting his voice and filling up the mix there, but the way the instrumentation shapes around him, you know, the guitar doesn't, the guitar pulls away. I mean, the percussive nature is only there to complement him. It's very much showcasing his voice while also creating the stage. You know, it's like this large room effect on his voice almost just through the instrumentation, not through a vocal amp, which is really nice. 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 Oh, the keys are... I like how the keys just it kind of took this arpeggio and then we're like going really fast paced as this duality between the keys and the kind of the rest of the instrumentation associated to his vocals there, which is really fun. I really like that that duality inside of the tracks of the mix rather than different segments of the song. That's really clean there. Nice. She sounds really good there. Nice. I like how when she was going down there, like when Rosemi kind of went a little bit lower and more breathy, we had the keys pop up on the top of the mix there. So we had kind of this like branch out. So as Sonny kind of covered this like a mid-tone, this like powerful projection on the mid-tone, then Rosemi kind of dips down low and the keys go up high and then it comes back, I'm assuming. That was really nice. Nice, came back. Okay, this is interesting here. This is interesting. We're adding a lot more treble based tonalities, higher pitched tones, and then we're well, higher pitched tracks, and then leaning more into those treble based tones. This is an interesting lift to pull off at this point of the song here. Okay. Okay. That was nice. I like that. Nice. That was He has improved a lot. Nice. Nice. That was a really good choice right there. He didn't go as much into the growl or the rasp there because, you know, we're at this lift in the song. So instead of focusing more on the intensity there, he just had an open projection instead, and then let them mix this like grandiose moment where we're coming up to the finish line. We've got all these light tones, this airiness, while still maintaining our bass foundation in the mix, right? So it creates this majesty around the mix. We've got this big moment here. Instead of going more into the intensity, he goes more for this open projection to kind of embrace that instead of trying to clash with it. That was a really good choice. I'm not sure if they have like a vocal director or anything, but whoever made that decision, good. That was a good mix awareness right there. See, and right here, we still keep the intensity through those like voice cracks, almost like we get that intensity, so we still have that continuity from before. We still have that intensity, but we're still adding that dynamic nature by not getting as much that grittiness in his big projections and instead leaning more into an openness in his voice, which adds this dynamic over the progression of the song, but it also retains some of that intensity and some of those kind of aesthetic references to the previous segments of the song. That was a big sustain. That was a really big sustain. We're gonna have an instrumental ride out. We're not gonna have one more? One more? No? Okay, just gonna ride out the instrumental. With the fade, actually. That's interesting. Okay. That was RINGO MOGIRE BEAM from Sonny Brisko and Rosemie Lovelock. That was really impressive. I really enjoyed that. That was a really awesome showing from the two of them. I think I think Rosemie was a little bit on the back burner for this one. She kind of was mostly like a compliment to Sonny's voice for this. I think I think Sonny definitely got the spotlight for this one. I mean, he was taken like he was in the spotlight. He was in center stage. He had so many big projections, and they were really using that like that voice crack and that rasp and that growl. They were really playing into that, as well as the, you know, the aesthetic of mixing that in with a lot of those more cheerful tones. You know, playing around with the keys, and then even as we got further, we kind of played around with this kind kind of like percussive chime. I'm not sure specifically which instrument they used or if it was like a synthesized effect, but we had a lot of those like very treble based percussive elements and kind of like chimes. That was really fun to add in the mix. So I do think, you know, I think you might have been able to tell when I was watching or listening. I was not the biggest fan of how the mix sounded on that part, but I was a really big fan of how they played off of it. The way they went into it was a little bit cliche with the kind of, you know, just the, you know, standard power chord right in with the percussive backing, and then we go into this, but instead of having like a cymbal effect or like a percussive impact on the transition, we actually had that very high-pitched treble tonality, that like chime effect or that bell, or it was a little bit odd, but I think the way they played into it and the way they played off of it was really nice. I really enjoyed how they led that into this more grandiose segment and went into the chorus again while having this a lot more treble tonalities in the mix without abandoning their bass tonalities. They still kept a lot of that bass foundation, that guitar, that drums, but they leaned way more into those treble tonalities for the finish and allowed the vocalist to get a little more clean, just a little bit more clean on the projections, and that sustain, especially at the end, we got from Sonny. I would have liked maybe a little bit more, like a little bit more activity from Rosemi's lines. Don't get me wrong, she had a lot that she did super awesomely. We had a lot of like vocal demeanor switch ups, especially when she would lean more into the nasal quality, and then she would get like more breathy and have this like a lot of like reverb on her voice and get more layered. But I would have liked if she had, you know, like a little bit more of like a big sustain moment, or like a big like kind of impactful moment to kind of match Sonny, you know, maybe have some like a harmonization or something. Oh, we did get a couple moments like that, but it wasn't on like the main projections. It was just kind of on a passing line. So I would have liked maybe a little bit more of that from Rosemi, but nonetheless, I mean, this was a really awesome song, and I do think that it played to their strengths. I do think that the voices were not badly utilized at all. I mean, this was a really awesome composition here. So yeah, thank you very much for recommending that I check this out. And as always, feel free to recommend more things for me to check out in the comments below. Aside from that, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.